Hello out there in the interwebs. You have your tubes tuned to Colonel Brony, and I have lost my shirt. Playing around in my enchanting table, and put my chess piece in it, and crashed it. But that's okay. I think it's about time we upgraded. I think it's about time we upgraded to some amethyst armor. Yes, our quarry has been going pretty good, and I've actually gotten enough enough lapis to get Fortune 3 on my pickaxe. And this is that other pickaxe that I made a long time ago. I just hadn't gotten around to really doing anything with it. And as you can see, it now has 450 pieces of lapis. So, we're going to go down this and see just how much ender amethyst we get. Getting a pretty decent amount. Started with 22, I think, and we should end up with, yep, 45. So you get about, 2 for 1 with the fortune. So we are also, I'll talk as I make my stuff. So we are also going to do some stuff with the, what is this? Applied Energestics, yes. I know what I'm doing, I promise. So, Applied Energestics, because, as I've said many times, digging through my chests, not cutting it anymore. Not even close to cutting it anymore. So, I'm going to be making a fairly complex thing with inscribers, and I'm going to, if we have time, build a computer box around it. And we're going to do it over in our little town. And I've been getting just some terrible frame rate issue. I don't know if it's something over here that's messing me up, or if I need to like defrag my computer or something. But whatever, we can deal with it. So, and if we're going to be doing these, well, inscribers need energy. How much energy? Well, they actually only need about 5 RF a tick, which, as we know, our little survivalist generators can do. But I don't want to have to feed multiple generators, so we're going to make this one the ×8. And this is a little bit of a rabbit hole, but I've got everything set up here. So I'm going to need some nodes. I'm going to make just a bunch of nodes because, well, I will always have a use for nodes. Then I need to make some speed upgrades. Right there's the recipe for them. And then I need to make, what is this? What's it called? The depth first search upgrade. And these take all these things that I'm doing here, these take a bunch of redstone. So we do that. Then we come over, we put one of these in the center. We put speed upgrades on the side, and we get a breadth first search upgrade. And I think, yep. And then we take that thing over to our QED. Like I said, it's a bit of a rabbit hole. Took me a good 10 minutes or so to to get myself organized enough to know what I was doing. And we put it in here. There we go. And we get our little transfer node for energy. And I should probably make a couple of these, just because if I want to use the extra utility pipe, and I might as well, I need to use these to pull energy out of my things. But for now I'm going to just use the basic universal cable from Mechanism, because, well, that's really easy. Also, let's put on our fancy new pink armor, because, well, it's super pink, but it also has super protection. I mean, even without my boots on, without the pants, even with the chest piece off, I've got full armors. Let's see. Yep, even with the chest piece off, I have full armor. So yeah, it's really nice stuff. Alright, so now that we have our little node, we come back over to our handy dandy crafting stations. We put it in the middle of our other survivalist generators, which I'm pretty sure I've made them on camera. They're just, that's the recipe. They're pretty simple. And boom, we're going to use that guy. And I'll just chuck my other armor in here, and that thing, and some eggs, and my inventory is perpetually a mess, loyal viewers. Perpetually a mess. What else? Oh, let me give you guys just a really quick, cool thing about Mechanism. So I made our enrichment chamber a couple episodes back, and oh, I forgot to feed them. I forgot to feed them because I've been using my my enrichment chamber. Why? Well, let me just take these coals. If you if you put a lapis ore or a redstone ore into the enrichment chamber, you will get 12 lapis or redstone out, depending on which one you used. So it is the best way to process your lapis and your redstone. I mean, 5 ores gives you almost a stack of your dust or of your lapis lazuli. So it's really good stuff. I also, off camera, I made this ender generator because I was like, I've got a decent amount of ender pearls. Let's see about using ender power instead. Which is really cool. It lets you burn ender pearls, but it does not give you a whole lot of energy per pearl. Each pearl is worth only 30,000 redstone flux. Whereas, like our coal and stuff, we've been getting 80,000 out of the survivalist generators. Alright, well, I think I might actually have everything. We'll go ahead and take a nap first. So yes, I will... I don't need to cut out. After we finish taking a nap, we will hop through our little portal to our town, and I will build my little Inscribotron. There we go. I might need to turn the camera off for just a second so that I can get another silicon press, because the plan... I need this, and I'm missing one. It's in my other chests. Oh, we got it. There it is. Well, that was a lot less difficult than I thought it was gonna be. Alright, so, yeah, I'm probably going to, later. Yay! Anyway, later I'm going to go ahead and, go look for some more meteors so I can get another silicon press. Because having the... Oh, I didn't even notice that I had horses over here. Because, yes, each of the different... well, let's go ahead and set them down like so. And then transfer node on top of each of them. And then... No. This is not how we do it. Okay, so the... I am just failing all over today. The inscribers all have, for their different inputs, they will have their different sides. So, all I have to do really is, for these bottom ones, I'm going to use the silicon presses, just like so. Oops. I thought that would take out of there. Oops. Well, anyway, we'll just smash these things off here for a second. Alright, so you put your... Where'd they go? Oh, they put them up in here. Alright, anyway, so yes, if you put it in the bottom, it goes into the bottom slot. If you put it into the top, it goes into the top slot. If you... I think the side is the output that I'm looking for, actually. Let's see if I can do this and not have it steal my thing. There we go. That should be the output. So, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? I'm probably going to end up just turning these. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and turn it like so. And I'll need to make myself some pipe. No, I won't. Because then I can just put this right, if I do it right. Got to shift click. No. Got to shift click on the top of it. Facing this way. There we go. Alright, so we put our inscriber silicon press in there, and then we pipe in silicon into the side here, which is the back of it, which I'll do later because you gotta do a sag mill for silicon, and this is just for getting these things going. And yes, from the back it should go into the middle slot, and for this one we'll just use the logic press, right? Yep, which prints the logic circuits. Those take gold. I think I might need some more inscribers. Anyway, these take a gold and of course some energy. So I'll just slap that right there for the moment. Ding. And see, now it makes 40. So it doesn't use the coal any more efficiently than the lower levels. It keeps the same efficiency, but it gives you all that energy much quicker. And alright, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but the generators need to be plugged into them with a cable. And we'll get to see, there you go, it squishes it into that. And then we pull it out on the side. Yep. Alright, so this is, let me think. So I will need silicon presses. I will need these guys. And then I will need one more to actually make the circuits. Because to make the circuits, well, let me put that down. Actually, let me grab this and grab that guy. To actually make your circuit, you put your logic circuit or whatever. There's also the calculation and engineering circuits. You put those on top. You put a redstone in the middle, and you put the printed silicon on the bottom, and then it squishes all three together into the actual completed circuit. And it probably doesn't make a whole bunch of sense, but nom 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 nom. I promise it will, loyal viewers. I promise. So I think I'm going to go ahead and cut out here, and we'll come back once I have this monstrosity figured out, because I think it's going to be kind of difficult to get everything set up just right. So I will catch you in a second. And we're back. Alright, so I got a little bit of stuff done, and I decided, you know what, I need to get my sag mill going. So let's show you guys how to do the sag mill. You start off making yourself a basic capacitor, because you need that to make your machine chassis, which is just some iron and some bars. And then that goes into here, flint, piston, iron, and you get your sag mill. Also, I don't remember if I showed you guys how to make the inscribers, but it's just like this, and you get these fluix crystals by throwing a charged Certus quartz, a nether quartz, and a redstone dust into some water. Like just in the world. Just chuck it out of your inventory into water, and they'll start combining. It's really weird, but that's just how that mod rolls. I believe that's everything I need. So let's see if we can show you guys the Inscribomatic. The Inscribomatic is what I'm going to be calling it, at least for now. It's over here. Alright, so what am I going to use? Sand? Why not? Alright, so sand, sand. And then I need, how does it need to face? It needs to face like so. There we go. Very good, very good. And alright, so that needs to come off. I'll just set this inscriber on top, set it on top. Right. They don't always do what you tell them to. Alright. Set it on, why won't you set it on top for me? Why do you refuse to do it? Well, will you set it on the side? Of course not. Oh, will it ever end? Will the mods ever just listen to me? I don't think they will, viewers. I do not think that they will. Alright, so we put that one there, and this one will just fall down. Alright. So, we need to get out our stick. I'm not sure if this is a cool thing or kind of a lame thing, but no. I want to just get rid of that's not what I wanted. I might. Okay, so I'm going to need to move those. Okay, I just need to move those over a little bit. Anyway. Yes, we've got all of our stuff to get the Inscribatron going. The Inscribomatic. And I have learned, hello viewers, that my mechanism cable can meet up with the extra utilities pipe, which is pretty cool, Alright, and then oh, things are always things. I'll just put sand on top of them for see if I can actually aim. Not the sag mill, the inscribers. Now these guys are gonna go here and there and there. Alright. And then transfer node, and we can hopefully tell the transfer node to only aim downwards. Yes, you can use the stick to aim your extra utilities pipe, and it doesn't always work, as you saw with the thing here, but let's see. There we go. There. Now those will only go down into there. I need to go back to my bed. Misclicking on the castle. Backwards, sideways, forwards. Alright. Man, it seems like the monster jerky doesn't have any, hardly any satiation anymore. Just tearing through the stuff. Oh, nom 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 nom. Alright. So, we'll go ahead on back through here, and hopefully I can better explain how this thing works. Where'd you go? There you are. Alright. I made me some extra of this, and some extra of that, and some extra of those. How am I going to get these power up into here? Alright, I think by doing like this. Almost. And then if I do like that, uh-oh. Well, that's weird. Well, it's pretty easy to fix at least. Boom. Alright. So now that one's got power. I'm not sure how that one's gonna get power. Anyway, that's not too important. So, I'll just put the calculation press in that one. I'll put the logic press in that one. And I'll put the engineering press in that one. That one's got a thingy, and that one's got that thing. Alright, so, the way this will work is this thing has some power in it. It could have more power. In fact, let's go ahead and give it more power. Good stuff. Alright, so that thing makes power to power all of our things here. These guys, I'll probably off camera, set up so that they get sand from the sag mill, which reminds me, I just made that, so let's go ahead and there. Sag some stuff. If you put flint over up in here, you get a better chance of getting stuff, like silicon. Alright, that's good enough to just show. So, put in a silicon. This does that. And then it should hopefully... There we go. You can see it showed up in there. And then up here, give me... Well, let's pretend this one was the logic circuit, shall we? It would go in here, it would get spit through, and into that. And then, did I bring redstone? I did. Back here, we keep that chest full of redstone, and it should... There we go. It'll be putting redstone into these things, and squish, makes that, and goes into this pipe here, with the logic processor. And that's going to be the Inscribomatic. I'll need to clean it up a little bit, and of course get the facade around it, but I think that'll do it for today. Next episode, I think next episode we'll go ahead and build the facade around this. I want to make a big old computer monitor for it, because I think it would look cool. I think it would look cool, and I also, I'd like to get more into doing aesthetic builds. Excuse me. Yeah, so I'd like to get more into doing aesthetic builds so that they look really cool, instead of just things that are functional. Because in my single player world, if it was just me looking at this stuff, this is probably about as far as I would go. Though I would set up a thing for keeping these guys full of their respective ingredients. But for now, let's just toss this piece of sand in there too. Yeah, we got another silicon. Alright. So yes, for now, we are going to, I think, call it good for today. We got ourselves the Inscribomatic going, which is really cool, and it'll be really useful, because if you're doing Applied Energestics stuff, Advanced Energestics, whatever this mod is called, if you're doing this mod, you are going to need a lot and a lot of stuff. And I also might need to get a better generator going. I don't know how much the sag mill eats up for sagging things. Or is it for milling things? Either way, I don't know how much this guy eats up for actually doing stuff. I think he mostly just ate up the energy because he has space for it. So yeah, that'll do it, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Laters.